Hello, everyone. I'm number six. You know, six of one, half a dozen of the other. It's all the same, really. And I'm number six, Nick Moore. I'm your host. And this is my home and everything. And my new mic I have here, it sounds pretty good, I guess. And the test, at least, it showed it was. I'm getting quite a few greens, so I guess it's picking up my voice pretty well. That's cool. And Nick Stats, what that means is I talk about anything. And I mean anything. Anything goes. So tonight I was thinking about, well, we have something coming our way and it's not pretty. It's kind of like the dinosaurs, what happened to them. They didn't know what was coming, but we do know what's coming. It's called Apophis. It's about 5 miles in diameter. And it's going to hit the United States. It's going to hit the Earth, most likely. And it will hit about 400 miles off of Malibu Beach. So all the people like George Clooney, Lady Gaga, Madonna, all the rest of the big, beautiful people, right? Well, their homes are going to disappear. But don't worry, they're going to come right back in different shapes. They'll be right back. But they'll just be in different shapes. These tsunamis will be about 50 feet tall and about 40 of them. So there's going to be quite a few tsunamis. And not to mention all the water poured into the atmosphere, probably extinguishing life on Earth, at least as life as far as we go. So it is a pretty big event. Now, it will happen, it will pass by the Earth lower than our lowest communication satellite, so lower than 23 miles above the Earth it will pass. On the Friday the 13th of April, 2029. If it goes through what's called a keyhole, that's a certain space that it goes through. In 7 years, when it circles the sun and comes back around, it will strike the Earth about 400 miles off of the coast of Malibu Beach, right around there. So why would the Russians, of all people, down on the other side of the Earth, why would they be concerned enough to want to build a ship called a tractor beam that will actually pull this meteor away several centimeters? That's all it needs. Several centimeters, they'll be in a plane that will never strike a planet ever. We will have saved the solar system at that point. We would have to bring the capsule that the living quarters would be in. So, we don't want to do it. We say, well, it's possible it might not happen. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But we're sure betting our planet on it. We're putting a big wager on here. About as big as they get. You're betting your planet that it'll be okay. And they may be right. It's still so far away that we can't really tell for sure how it's going to enter. But we do know that it's going to come very close to the planet Earth. Like I said, lower than the lowest communication satellite, so a little under 23 miles above the Earth. So it's going to come in pretty close. And if it goes through that keyhole, that certain area, then in 7 years it'll smash us. It'll hit. Why they call it a meteorite, I have no idea, because how can it be right to hit the Earth with something going 60,000 miles an hour? I consider that meteor wrong. I would not call it a meteorite, because I don't think it's right to hit the Earth going 60,000 miles an hour. I really don't think that's right. I might be alone out there. I don't know. I'm just an average man living here in Danville, Illinois, USA. And what do I know, right? I mean, maybe it will miss us. But it's a heck of a bet. I'm just a gambler. And I consider that to be a very high bet. Betting the planet on it, Anyway, who seems to be pretty knowledgeable about this is Neil deGrasse Tyson, PhD. He does seem to be very knowledgeable about Apophis. The best that I've heard from him is that it's still too far out to be able to tell. other than it's going to get about 23 miles, 22 miles above the Earth as it goes by. On Friday the 13th of April, 2029. On the 13th of April, 2036 would be the date that it would hit the Earth if it goes through the keyhole. And if it doesn't go through the keyhole this time, what about the next time? You know, it's not like there's not going to be a next time. There will be. You know, there's going to be. Like, I sure wish there was an astronomer or somebody around. I believe I have everything checked, like for comments and things like that, but I don't know how to read these comments. I don't know. How do I read comments? No, I shrunk the screen. Somewhere you're able to read comments. There. Chat. Oh, okay. There's the chat. Okay. All right. There we are. Apparently no one's watching. No one's commenting. I don't know. You know, like I said, it is some time away, and I'm not a scientist. And scientists are saying it's so far away right now, we don't really know how it's going to come in. Other than it's going to be about 23 miles above the Earth at one point. That much we do know. So, you know, maybe we can get someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson to come on one time or give some more comments. He's someone very knowledgeable on the subject. Michio Kaku, he PhD, he's the one that wrote string theory, by the way. He is extremely knowledgeable, man. He teaches at the City University in New York City. So they have some pretty good educators out that way. And anyway, he says about Japan's Fukushima. Now there's another story. We could talk about that till the cows come home. Or until we fall over dead from all the plutonium that they're releasing constantly. Because for over 6 years, about 6.5 years, they've done absolutely nothing. The only thing was one scientist in Japan said the following, and I quote, "If you are concerned at all about radiation, smile." Yes, you heard me. If you are concerned at all about radiation, smile. Now, how can a physicist, a nuclear physicist, try to pull that BS off on people? Well, maybe that's why North Korea is so mad. Maybe whatever it is they're doing in Japan is now spreading and killing people in another country. That's a reason for war. You have no choice. War was thrown at you. Just because we're in love with Japan, just because we get to do whatever we want over there, just because of all that doesn't mean that North Korea is wrong. If people are dying, and I suspect they are dying from radiation poisoning, cancers and the whatnot, and birth defects, you know, that could be a reason why North Korea keeps sending ICBMs over Japan. That could be the real reason. And yet we're never going to hear about it in America. In fact, I'm sure this broadcast will somehow wind up being destroyed. The simple fact of bringing it up, but it won't change the fact that indeed 3 nukes did blow up, with the 4th about to blow up, which will probably take out the other couple as well. You know, that'll be real fun. And by the way, you do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Not like Russia when they had Chernobyl and they actually threw a Band-Aid on it. Okay, I'll give them that. But unlike that, we'll do absolutely nothing but smile. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah. What they need is a super sarcophagus. A super duper sarcophagus. Russia has a super sarcophagus, and it's movable, and they moved it over Chernobyl. Seals up Chernobyl completely. Nothing can escape. No radiation, nothing. They say it will last 100 years, which I say is about 50 or 60, and then they'll start to build one. And of course, there'll be cracks and everything else and whatnot. You know, one thing leads to another. It's going to not last as long as you think it will. I don't believe. Anyway, though, that'll be cool. You know, if you build like a super sarcophagus, a super duper sarcophagus, one that can seal all 28 of their nuclear plants. Each one of those plants are MOX fuel. MOX is MOX, and it stands for half plutonium, which is totally man-made, and half uranium, which is naturally occurring from the Earth. Plutonium is an element. I believe it's number 93 in the periodic table. Anyway, this element has a lifespan of 4.5 billion years. Now, you think, what happens in 4.5 billion years? Oh, there is something that occurs around that, give or take a few million years. And that is the sun will die. Is that what they mean? The plutonium dies when the sun dies because there'll be no one left to say it's around? Yeah. The plutonium might never leave. Might never leave. And by the way, every bomb that they tested, both in the northern and southern hemisphere, plutonium. All bombs are plutonium except the first one that fell on Hiroshima. That was uranium. All the rest, all of them, Fat Man from then on, were all plutonium. And that never goes away. So how they can pass laws about smoking and saying that's causing lung cancer? Really? Well, how about all the plutonium in the air we're breathing? Maybe that's causing a little lung cancer. That could be. It definitely could be. That's something it does do. And breathing it definitely could cause a spike in cancers. Definitely. And it would have nothing to do with some Iranian in Iran having a cigarette as he's walking through Tehran somewhere. You know, enough of that. I'm sure the orange over there with the raccoon on his head will tell us that some guy smoking a cigarette in Tehran is killing everyone on the planet Earth. Yeah. And if you want to believe it, that's fine. Go right ahead and believe it. But if you don't believe it like I don't, and you reject it like I do, then you're not alone. At least there's me and then one other. If there's two people, there's probably 10. If there's 10, there's 100. There's 100, there's 10,000. Okay? You get the idea? I'm sure I'm not the only one. And we'll keep this thing going all night if need be. Comments. Enter chat message or link here. Hi. Okay, let me just say hi. Oh, boy. Let's get my little picture of me in my number 6 outfit, which I probably should put on, but not right now. Now, I notice I have a little square that says you. I wonder if someone else could contact me and that others could see it. Apparently, no one's come by yet. I don't know. Maybe it's not working, or I don't know. Seems to be working. Well, I guess someone cares about the Earth. What about corporations that are on the Earth? They're going to blow up. You know, if the Earth gets hit, right, and we're all dead, we're certainly not going to need AT&T anymore. We're not going to need Google. We're not going to need YouTube. We're all going to be dead. All that stuff is gone. All of it. Gone. It was there. It's like a nuclear reactor. One moment it's there, next moment it's gone. You know, it's kind of odd that way. One moment it's there, you swear it's there, it's big, heavy thing, and next moment it's gone. It's gone. That's how it was in Chernobyl, by the way. One moment it was there, and next moment it was gone. Of course, that was because they took an engineer who was a hydroelectric engineer, put him in charge of a nuclear power station where he decides to do a crazy test, lowering the power of the nuke. By doing so, it makes it highly unstable. He overrides all controls where the computers want to save the nuke and supply it with water, but he had a better plan. He was going to try a new experiment out. This man has no knowledge of nuclear energy whatsoever. Okay? He has less knowledge than I do. Anyway, he's long dead. He got cancer and died. He fell over dead. And they all died, by the way, at Chernobyl. They all died. They all died in Fukushima too, except one Japanese guy. At least a couple of years ago, he was still alive. He was constantly being tested and medically examined continuously because he is the last person to live, last person to be alive. And that water was green. By the way, I got some radiation here. I also carry a Geiger counter. You should never leave home without one of these. Yeah. You normally get events. You hear that little ticking. That's normal. That you're going to get events. Most nuclear events come from the cosmos. Right? Almost all nuclear events come from the cosmos. Our atmosphere filters it out. So down here at sea level, where I'm at, Illinois being flatland, the radiation is pretty low. But as you go higher up, let's say you're an airplane pilot, and you're in the sky 40 hours a week, 30 hours a week. You're in the sky 30 hours a week. So are your stewardesses. So are your flight attendants. Everyone's up in the air all the time. They're getting a much higher dosage of radiation than we are at sea level. Much higher. There's less atmosphere. So they're getting more of a dose, yet they live a long, healthy life. And when they pass away, it's not of cancer or anything, just of old age. They passed away. They became very elderly and they eventually passed away. So, you know, a little radiation, I'll give you another little tip about radiation. A toilet is made of porcelain. Porcelain's highly radioactive, by the way. So you can set my Geiger counter on top of the porcelain toilet tank and sit there for a minute. And you can get a reading where I set it at 100 to beep. As in a heads up, you know, that's all, heads up. And anyway, it goes to like 106, the CPM that counts per minute. The world uses CPM. But then they use different ways to measure, like Russia, they tend to use becquerels. Rads tend to be used in Canada. We use sieverts. I believe sieverts being the best. Not just because I'm in America, but because I believe America does know a thing or two about nuclear power. You know, like it or not, we tend to know something. Anyway, we seem to have a lot of money to spend on Geiger counters. There's software that comes with it, which is optional, and you don't need it at all to operate the Geiger counter. But I do have the software, and I'm glad I have it because you get to see readings as they're happening all over the country, or the world for that matter. But most of the world can't afford a Geiger counter that's expensive. You have to understand that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's important if you have one, hey, show it. I used to do that at night. I would show it at night when I first got the idea, hey, I could broadcast on here, man. If I get unlimited everything, which I wound up getting unlimited everything, even my internet, everything's unlimited now. My cell phone, everything. Data, everything, it's unlimited. You pay enough for that. Plus, I get a new phone every year if I want, but I don't want one this year. But I'm eligible in about 4 weeks. 3 weeks for a phone. I'm sure they're reminding me. I seldom ever even check my email. I got to start getting more into everything. Anyway, I do keep seeing this box in the lower right-hand corner that says U. Y-O-U. And it has like a little meter showing maybe modulation. Not as good a meter as the meter on the bottom showing modulation, but it is showing what I believe is modulation. It says U, but it's blacked. It's blacked out. So I wonder if that's where I could show somebody else. If anyone knows what I mean at all. Like maybe I could show Neil deGrasse Tyson, or I could show my tech, who happens to be in the other room right now. He's the one that helped make this extremely possible, by the way. And, well, like I said, there's a lot to talk about. Where to start? Well, let's start with Japan. They're on the planet Earth. And that part of the Earth is gone now. So it used to, I had a Japanese car, beautiful car, a CRV. Fortunately, it was before March 11th, 2011. So it was safe. It's no longer that way anymore. I'd go back to GM now. Even though it has OnStar and I'm against that, I would go with GM before I would even stick my face in a Japanese. That's how radioactive that country is. That country does not exist. That part of the earth is gone. So maybe that's why North Korea is so mad. They're never going to tell us the truth. But that sure could be a reason. Look at the circles. Look at the way the wind patterns are. A lot of people dying, not just in Japan, but in Laos. But Laos can't do much. Cambodia, they can't do anything. Vietnam, they're a joke. Just get Americans killed, that's all. Rather than create jobs, you just get people killed. And then you get, oh gosh, you get all kinds of things. All these countries, right? But only North Korea really has some energy, power, muscle to shoot off some ICBMs and that. And they keep shooting them off in Japan's direction. It makes me wonder. They've had an awful bad situation. They refuse to address it. I mean, 6.5 years they've refused to address it. They just let it go. Well, eventually, here's what will happen. A China syndrome will never happen. Okay, what will happen instead is that the molten metal will continue to react uncontrollably and will eventually go down to where the molten metal is of the earth. Now, every time a volcano at that point erupts, it'll spew out radiation like crazy. Yeah. Contaminating the earth completely. Killing everyone. That's what happens. Now, we had a war with Japan. And if I recall right, we won that war. And I recall the Emperor Hirohito having to go on board the USS Nimitz and sign an agreement to end the war. And nowhere did it say that at a later date you could kill us all. Nowhere did it say that. Okay? So Hirohito, while he was nothing but a sock puppet, that's why I allowed him to stick around. He became, what I heard, some kind of a thing for Washington, D.C. that he hung around I don't know, they have them people. Oh, God, they're nothing people, but they think they're somebody. You know, those people. And he hung out in Washington, D.C. And it's nothing compared to what they're doing currently. I mean, like I said, I had Japanese cars, swore by it. CRV, as a matter of fact. Swear by it. Now, no. Now I'll go with a GM. Because I don't want metal from that part of the world. I don't want plastic from that part of the world. I don't want anything from that part of the world. That part of the world is gone. It's gone forever. And the sooner Americans realize that, the better. You either make it here 100% or forget it. You know, we have ridiculous levels. Radiation in food, it's like 400 CPM. That's what we allow. We shouldn't have more than 10 CPM. Maybe 20. Maybe. Depending on the fish, the animal. But no. We allow, oh gosh. The sky's the limit. Basically, the sky's the limit when it comes to radiation in America. And what we can consume. Sky's the limit. All tuna is so hot. All you gotta do is open it up, it cooks itself. Put it that way. That's how radioactive tuna is. Yeah. Yet they pump that crap out. And I mean crap. That's what that is, crap. That's not food. That's something you give to someone that you don't like. And I'm not kidding there. And you handle it with tongs. Don't touch it. Yeah. You pick up one of these. I have a few sets of these. Nice little tongs is also there rounded so I can pick up a crucible. Very nice tongs. A few of those. Very special and very good to have. And I don't see anyone coming in at all. I don't know. It says I have a phone button. Leave call. Oh, no, I don't need. Just bandwidth. And camera on. Microphone. And what's this? Invite people. Well, invite everyone. Oh, I don't know. That was something about inviting people, and I can't think of anyone to invite. Huh. No. Anyway, I might put this in pause for a little bit because I don't know what else to say at the moment, and I don't know. I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. I'm gonna get a soda and begin my broadcast. And well, we got a lot to cover. There's just so much we don't know. Just so much. Incredible that what we don't know. It's the more we know, the more we don't know. Let's put it that way. Ask any scientist, they'll tell you that too. The more you know, the less you know. Yeah, it never ends. It never ends. If it ended, I think it would be really bad. I think it's much better to have like a Moore's Law, which should be pretty easy for me to remember the name Moore, since my last name is Moore, but no relation to Moore's Law. Moore's Law states the following. Every 18 months, we double our computing power. So far, Moore's Law for over 20 years has held. And it's called Moore's Law. So we'll see if it continues. Prices have gone way down. I bought a real fine, ultra cool microphone with a stand and everything for a lot less than I thought I would have had to pay. A lot less. I bought the microphone through Amazon, but I bought the stand in Champaign, Illinois today. Thanks to my lovely wife going through the traffic. And then there was some horrid accident on the eastbound end of 74, I-74, that's Interstate 74. Anyone else around the country, around the planet. And Interstate 74 had an accident so bad they shut the highway down. So we exited University and we managed to get through and get back on the highway and come back in. We bypassed the accident point, obviously. Anyway, I'm going to stop broadcasting for a little bit, pause this thing or something. And I don't know, hopefully we'll get some people or something, you know? We'll see. I know I get people when when I use the Geiger counter, I get some people. Accessing your camera and microphone. Oh, of course it's access it. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Oh, wait. I'm a little smiley. That's cute. No. Had a little emoji there that I put in. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I've been watching so much stuff from around the world, and particularly Russia. I can't get over the concerts. The music I thought was so horrible for the last 30-something years in America. Just unreal. From U2 to Madonna to Lady Gaga, all horrible. In my opinion, rotten. Crap. Beyond crap. Okay? The worst of the worst of the worst. What we would expect from zero. Since we're a zero country, we had it all and we gave it all up. Okay. Now, we gave it all up. I figured we gave up the music. We did. But Russia never did. See, they all moved to Russia. They're all Leninists, all of them. Samantha Fox, a Leninist. Bonnie M, a Leninist. Myself, a Leninist. I'm also a minister, so I'm a Leninist minister. And I think I'm the first one in America to be one. And, a lot of great things. A lot of great things. Anyway, I'm going to put this on, I guess it's called Stop Broadcasting. It says I have 0 viewers. Well, I guess I'm talking to myself. Oh, well. All right, I'll put this on pause for a while. I'm going to stop broadcasting for a little while and I'll come back. Maybe there's somebody, even though it says 0, maybe there's someone out there. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. And I would more than welcome your 2 cents. Definitely something to keep in mind. I'll be broadcasting again shortly, but for a little while, I'm going to stop broadcasting. Go to the bathroom, get some soda, and, stuff like that. I'll be back shortly. Okay, thank you again.